Turn the clocks back 2 years, I was there day one supporting this project, seeing the suit reveal, reloading the page at DC Fandom to see the first teaser trailer. It's finally here. The Batman is finally here. And at first, I didn't know how I felt about it. A week ago, me and my family were walking out of the theater. My family said that they didn't like it as much as they thought they would. They said it didn't feel like a real superhero movie. Now, I honestly blame the MCU for setting false expectations of what a comic book movie is and what it can be. I digress. The consequences of the MCU is a story for another day. But back to the theater, my family said that this movie was very long. This is true. They said it was non-suspenseful. This is up to interpretation. But the most important thing that they said to me, and what really stuck with me, was they said that the movie didn't have a balance between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Because that's the point. They were expecting just another Batman movie, but this is something new. Robert Pattinson is not Bruce Wayne, or at least not the one we know. He's rude to Alfred. He doesn't help out with charities. He's not a billionaire playboy or a high-rise socialite. He's a recluse who pours all of his time into being the Batman. Even when he goes out as Bruce, it's usually to aid in an investigation as Batman. There's no balance between Bruce and the Bat, and that is the entire point of the movie. And I absolutely love it. I didn't expect this at all. He still needs to learn to be Bruce Wayne, be a symbol of hope. He's not there yet. It's well known that this version of Batman was based on Kurt Cobain. That's very telling for what direction they wanted to go with him. He's a complete social recluse. He doesn't know how to talk to people, so sometimes he just doesn't. And more than that, he accidentally, yet very directly, inspires corruption. Inspired the Riddler, his childhood friend. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out this book. Edward and Bruce meet a few times as children. It's actually pretty interesting. The Batman takes our caped crusader in a bold new direction. It's a story of capitalistic greed and corruption on every corner. Not to mention, every shot is like candy. Like seriously, almost every shot in this movie is just drop dead gorgeous. The color palette is something I didn't know I needed when it comes to The Dark Knight. We knew this movie was going to look good from the trailers, but it is genuinely just one of the most beautiful pieces of art I've ever seen. Every extreme close-up shot on a searchlight, a safe, contact lenses, whatever it is, it helps Gotham feel larger than life. It helps Gotham feel beyond redemption. But the visuals do not end here. Colin Farrell looks amazing. And if you're thinking to yourself, wait, I didn't see Colin Farrell in this movie, look again. He is Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, and that is not CGI. That's careful, meticulous, detailed prosthetics. The cinematography and stunt coordination is exciting and fluid. Pair that with the bone-crunching sound design, and every beating feels brutal. It literally feels like I'm watching one of the Arkham games. And then we have the main characters outside of Bruce Wayne. Gordon and Selina, in my personal opinion, finally get the screen time they deserve. The trust is there. Gordon seems like a true friend. Selina seems like a true partner in crime. It's believable. All their friendships are awesome. Although I do have one complaint. When some characters get a lot of screen time, like just so much more than I was expecting, others kind of get left behind. This movie desperately needs more Alfred. He's not in it for long, but what little time we spend with him, we get a grasp of what makes his relationship with Bruce unique. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Alfred made me cry in this movie. When he is in critical state and says to Bruce, "You needed a father, and all you got was me," I cried, because that's how Alfred always sees himself. When I heard Andy Serkis was the new Alfred, I was actually kind of nervous, and look at me now, I am eating my words. Paul Dano is unmatched, and he steals the show whenever he's on screen. Riddler is terrifying, and then he can be goofy as hell, and I love both sides of that coin. It feels true to his character. He's not edgy for the sake of being edgy. He just feels like the Riddler to me, only just if he existed in the real world. I do, however, wish that there were just a bit more elaborate riddles and traps, and not just mostly ciphers, but I understand that that wouldn't fit with this film's atmosphere. And from what we did get, I am extremely impressed with. The Batman takes bits and pieces From Long Halloween, Zero Year, Batman Ego, and the Telltale games, this is made by people who didn't just read one or two comics and called it good, but dove deep into the character of Bruce Wayne and understood him enough to make something wholly original and coherent. Overall, I currently rate The Batman as a 7 out of 7. I would like to be reasonable and not give it a perfect score, but the more I think about it, the more I think I like this movie. But it's such a unique take that I think mass audiences will misread it. I don't think that they'll realize that yes, this is Batman in year 2, but it is Bruce Wayne's origin story. I fear, if not for this movie's incredible marketing, getting fans to fall in love with just the concept of this film, people wouldn't give it a real chance. The film ends with Bruce realizing what his message has inspired. When that Riddler goon uses the "I'm vengeance" line at him, he sees what he's becoming. He sees that the Riddler is what true vengeance looks like. He needs to rise above that, become something more, become the Batman this city deserves. He needs to be able to inspire hope in the citizens of Gotham, yet instill fear in the criminal underbelly of his city. Bruce realizes he just can't be the Dark Knight, he needs to be a watchful protector. Not only a fist, but also a hand reaching out to help. That's right, people, Batman actually has a character arc. When's the last time that happened on the big screen? Batman Forever? This is just the beginning, and I'm ecstatic to see where Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, and the whole crew take these characters moving forward.